So I've been thinking about some changes to Spog's layout, because this was never going to be a permanent layout for me. It's how Spog came, and obviously I wasn't going to make any major changes to his layout until I had been using him and driving him and staying in him and living in him and going, what needs to change? This was thrown together. The screws that aren't screwed into anything. It's very cheaply made. It's lightweight. It's just like this hardboard stuff on a wooden frame. But my woodwork skills are not great, but I'd like to think they're better than this. So I've been having a little think about, realistically, how many seats do I need? I bought a van with 7 seats because I thought I was going to need 7 seats. But the reality of it is, both my boys are now grown up, as in they're not going to come and do things with me in the holidays that I would take the kids to go and do through work. So I've got a 7-seater. I've got 3 seats in the front, and these 2 seats will always be here because they're my rock and roll bed. So that's 5 seats, which will do me for most things, because I'll have 3 or 4 children and then myself. So that's realistically enough. But then should I go into the holidays and have another child or something, I'm not going to want to go out with 6 young children. I'm just not going to want to. So I'm thinking I need to keep 1 extra seat, so I've got 6 seats is what I'm thinking. So then I'm thinking, how can I use what I've got to have 6 seats, but when the bed is out, have some moving space as well and still keep storage? And I was like, there is no way to change this. And then I thought, how about that bench seat, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute, that bench seat over there behind my driver's seats, how about if I made something that could be taken off the seats if I needed to use the seats, so the seats will still be there, but actually have that as my cooking area with some storage in it and things like that, and then just something that I can lift off should I need to use all the seats in the van. That's become my thought process now. So I'm going to do some measurements and then draw some sketches and see what I can kind of come up with. But let me just show you the area that I'm talking about. Okay, so this is useful to have for someone who's hanging out with me, having a cup of tea. I sit, they sit. So I want to keep this seat. And also I've got a seat belt here that comes round and I can use it for travelling. But what I'm thinking is all of this section becoming my countertop, because when I sit on my bed, when my bed is out, I don't want to put it down every time I use it. When my bed is out, I'm going to be at this level anyway, so then cooking can be a bit higher. So I want my cooker to be here on something with storage underneath. That means my bottle with my gas in will be underneath. That means cooking utensils and bits and bobs will be underneath. I mean, I could even have the cooking level at here, because even, well, I don't know. Yeah, I probably could, because I've got the vent. So I need to do some drawing. First of all, I need to do some measuring and see what I come up with. So let's do this length here. Okay, let's go with 42 inches. Okay, how much height have I got here? Uh, 40 inches at the absolute max height. 40 inches. Okay. 19 in depth. And this bit is how high? 22. Whoa. Okay. So ideally, I could have something with storage that pretty much comes to there. I don't know what, 20 inches. How much space do I need for the cooker with the lid open? Okay, we're looking at about there. 15 is optimum. Height of 15 is optimum. What did I say? By 42ish, didn't I? I wanted 42. By 42. By 19. Okay, so now I need to think about it and plan it. Now what I'm thinking is there's some stuff here that tucks, like a space to tuck down behind the seats that would hold it in place. So maybe get some metal brackets and bend them slightly so that when I put it onto here, it will hook in at the back and just keep it more stable, as well as some sort of bracket that either hooks over here to keep it in place, or some sort of safety hooks or something to hold it into place. How big is 15? 15 inches is, you've not got an awful lot to play with. Yeah, that's bigger than one of those storage boxes. So I'd get a couple of storage boxes in there underneath. So yeah, if you can imagine something coming out like this, a frame with cupboard doors on it, room for storage boxes, some sort of hooky over bracket, maybe some kind of, although this works as a splashback anyway, but maybe a little lip on the top of it to stop things getting pushed down the back, and coming out to about here so somebody can still sit here, and then maybe have a little pop-up table if I wanted to extend the work surface. Maybe that would be good. I've got a lot of wasted space in that storage bit there because I've got rid of the fridge and I've got that new fridge that I've bought, and then that would give me space to have the toilet pulled out at night without having it on the bed. It would also give me a space here to stand and have a wash, rather than crawling around on the bed. I mean, it's not a big space, but it would be enough to stand in. Those are my thoughts. I'll draw up a few ideas and work with the measurements I've got and come back to you. But I thought I'd just do a very quick video to give you some sort of idea of what I'm thinking. This will be gone. So all of this, where the fridge was, that will all be gone. This will all be gone, and there'll be some storage up there with this on the top. A better use of storage, so pans and stuff will probably be in a stacker box. The storage will be bigger than that stacker box, so I could have a couple of those, maybe even 3 along there, and one of them can have clothes in, or 2 of them can have clothes in, or whatever. So this would be gone. I'd have headroom, and then I need to work on this. All of this is wasted space. I mean, it has my shopping bags up the top, but obviously I can't get to it from in here without going round to the back. And it's hard to get to everything I want with that panel. So I really need to redo that at some point, but I think I will start with just this section. Rip all of this out, rip this out, and create something on there that will do the job, and is removable should I need to use all of the seats. And then I need a bigger panel to go across the bottom there, don't I? Because that corner bit's where all my leisure batteries are, so I'll need another panel to go along, a longer panel to go along there. Okay, I think that's what I'm going to do. This is the bench seat, and that's the driver's seat, the passenger seat, and the middle seat, which I don't actually think has a headrest, but I've put it there so I know which direction I'm facing. This is the bench seat, which currently has storage underneath for my toilet, a box, bedding, and my batteries, my leisure batteries. And the seat in this has 2 seat belts because it's a 2-seater seat. But because it's quite a wide 2-seater seat, I'm going to make a box here to put the cooker on the top, a pop-up table at the side, hopefully a bit of perspex or something along there, and strap it on somehow to the seat so it doesn't fly off when I'm driving around, makes it secure and what have you. Cupboard for the gas underneath and some storage underneath, and that will be my new kitchen area instead of what I currently have. And I have, let's just zoom out a bit, made this rough plan. It's the wrong paper to be using for this, so it's kind of the best I can do, but measured it out a bit and worked out what wood I needed. I decided not to go for 2x2. If you saw in yesterday's vlog, I decided that was overkill, far too heavy, far too chunky, so I've gone for 1 3/8, I think, by 1 3/8. It needs to be light enough that I can lift it and move it when I need to, which won't be very often, I hope, but it also means that I have this bit of seat, which is bigger than it shows here. It's an actual seat's worth, that I can still use with a seat belt, even with that on there. And when people are in the van with me having a cup of tea after we've been for a hike or something, there will still be somewhere for them to sit, as well as the other bench seat with me on this side. So that is my plan. That is my plan.